Chapter 2: People as Resources. Overview. The chapter People as Resources is an effort to explain population as an asset for the economy rather than liability. Population becomes human capital when there is investment made in the form of education, training, and medical care. In fact, human capital is the stock of skill and productive knowledge embodied in them. People as resources is an way of referring to a country's working people in terms of their existing productive skills and abilities. Looking at the population from this productive aspect emphasize its ability to contribute to the creation of the gross national product. Like other resources, population also is a resources, a human resources. This is the positive side of a large population that is often overlooked when we look only at the negative side. Considering only the problem of providing the population with food, education, and access to health facilities when exi- when the existing human resource is further developed by becoming more educated and healthy. We call it human capital formation that adds to the productive power of the country, just like physical capital formation. Investment in human capital through education, training, medical care yield a return just like investment in physical capital. This can be seen directly in the form of higher incomes earned because of higher productivity of the more educated or the better training persons, as well as the higher productivity of healthier people. Important paragraph strategy. Indians green revolution is a dramatic example of how the input of greater knowledge in the form of improving productive technology can rapidly increase the production of scarce land resources. India's IT revolution is a striking instance of how the importance of human capital has come to acquire a higher position that higher position than that of material plant and machinery. In important paragraph complete ହେଇଯାଉଛି. Source: Planning Commission, Government of India. Let us discuss point number one. Looking at the photograph, can you explain how a doctor, teacher, engineer, and a tailor are asset of the economy. Uh, no, Not only do the more educated and the healthier people gain uh, through higher incomes, society also gains in other indirect way because the advantages of a more educated or a healthier population spreads to those also who themselves were not directly educated or given health care. In fact, human capital is in one way superior to other resources like land and physical capital. Human resources can make us of land and capital. Land and capital cannot become useful on its own. For many decades in India, a large population has been considered a liability rather than an asset. But a large population need not be a bundle for the economy. It can be turned into a productive asset by investing in human capital, for example, by spending resources on education and health for all, training of uh, training of industrial and agricultural workers in the use of modern technology, useful scientific researches, and so on. The two following cases illustrate how people can try to become a more productive resources. Important paragraph start होची. Story of Sakal. There were two friends, Vilas and Sakal, lived in the same village, Simapur. Sakal uh, t- was a 12-year-old boy. His mother Sheila looked after domestic chores. His father Bhutta Chaudhary worked in an agriculture field. Sakal helped his mother in domestic chores. He also looked after his younger brother Jitu and sister Situ. His uncle Syam has passed the matriculation exam the matriculation examination, but was sitting idle in the house as he had no job. Bhutta and Sheila were eager to teach Sakal. They forced him to join the village school, which he soon joined. He started studying and completed his higher secondary examination. His father pursued him to continue his studies. He raised a loan for Sakal to study a vocational course in computer. Sakal was meritorious and invested and interested in studies from the beginning. With greater vig- vigor, vigor and enthusiasm, he completed his course. After some time, he got a job in a private farm, FIRM. He even designed a new kind of software. This software helped him increase the sale of the farm, FIRM. His boss acknowledged his service and rewarded him with a promotion. ଏଠି ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ଯେଉଁ ପାରାଗ୍ରାଫ ସରିଯାଉଛି। ଏବେ ନେକ୍ସଟ ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ପାରାଗ୍ରାଫ ଷ୍ଟାର୍ଟ ହେଉଛି। Story of Vilas. Vilas was a 11-year-old boy residing in the same village as Sakal. Vilas' father Mahesh was a fisherman. His father passed away when he was only 2 years old. His mother Gita sold fish to earn money to feed the family. She brought fish from the landowner's pond and sold it in the nearby mandi. She could earn only 150 a day by selling fish. Villa became a patient of arthritis. His mother could not afford to take him to the doctor. He could not go to the school either. He was not interested in studies. He helped his mother in cooking and also looked after his younger brother Mohan. After some time, his mother fell sick, and there was no one to look after her. There was no one in the family to support them. Vilas too was forced to sell fish in the same village. He, like his mother, earned only a meager MEAGRE income. এটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট স্টোরি কমপ্লিট হয়েছে। Let's discuss. Do you notice any difference between the two friends? What are those? Important paragraph. Visit a nearby village or a slums area and write down a case study of a boy or girl of your age facing the same condition as Vilas or Sakal. Important paragraph complete here. In the two case study, we saw Sakal went to school and Vilas did not go. Sakal was physically strong and healthy. There was no need for him to visit the doctor frequently. Vilas was a patient of arthritis. He lacked the means to visit the doctor. Sakal acquired a degree in computer programming. Sakal found a job in a private firm, while Vilas continued with the same work as his mother. He earned a mortgage income like his mother to support a family. In the case of Sakal, several years of education added to the quality of labor. This enhanced his total productivity added to the growth of the economy. This is turned pays an individual through salary or in some other form of his choice. In case of Vilas, there could not be an education or healthcare in the early part of his life. He spends his life selling fish like his mother. Henceforth, he draws the same salary of unskilled labor as his mother. Investment in human resources, high education and medical care can give higher rate of return in future. This investment on people is the same as investment in land and capital. A child too, with investments made on her education and health, can yield a higher return in future in the form of higher earnings and a greater contribution to the society. Educated parents are found to invest more heavily on the education of their child. This is because they have realized the importance of education for themselves. They are also conscious of proper nutrition and hygienics. They accordingly look after their child's needs for education at school and good health. A virtuous cycle is thus created in this case. In contrast, a victorious cycle may be created by disadvantaged parent who themselves uneducated and lacking in hygiene keep their child in a similar disadvantaged stage. Countries like Japan have invested in human resources. They did not have any natural resources. These countries are developed slash rich. They import the natural resources needed in their country. How did they become rich slash developed? They have invested on people, especially in the field of education and health. These people have made efficient use of other resources like land and capital. Efficiency and the technology evolved by people have made these countries rich slash developed. ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ସବ୍ ହେଡ଼ିଂ ଅଛି ଯୋଉଟାକି କହୁଛି ଇକୋନୋମି ଆକ୍ଟିଭିଟି ବାଇ men and women. Like Vilas and Sakal, people have been engaged in various activities. We saw that Vilas sold fish and Sakal got a job in the film. The various activities have been classified into three main sectors, that is primary, secondary and tertiary. Primary sector includes agriculture, forestry, animal husbandry, fishing, poultry farming, mining and uh, quarrying. Ma- Manufacturing is included in the secondary uh, sector. Trade, transport, communication, banking, education, healthcare, tourism, service, insurance, etc. are included in the tertiary sector, etc. are included in the tertiary sector. The activities in this sector results in the production of goods and services. Uh, these activities add values to the national income. These activities are called economic activities. Economic activities have two parts: market activity and a non-market activity. Market activity involves remo- remuneration to anyone, remuneration to anyone who perform, that is activity perform for pay or profit. These include production of goods and service, including government service. Non-market activities are the production for self-consuming. These can be uh, consumption and processing of primary product and own account production of fixed asset. Important paragraph strategy. Activity. Visit a village or colony located near to your residential area and note down the various activity undertaken by the people. If this is not possible, uh, ask your neighbor what is their profession. In which of the three sectors will you categorize their work? Uh, Say whether these activity are economic or non-economic activity. Vilas sells fish in the village market. Vilas cooks food for his family. Sakal work in the private films. Sakal looks after his younger brother and sister. Important paragraph complete ହେଇଗଲା. Due to historical and cultural reasons, there is a division of labor between men and women in the family. Women generally look after domestic chores, chores, and men's work in the field. Sakal's mother, Sheila, cook, cooks food, cleaning utensils, wash clothes, cleans the house, and looks after her children. Sakal's father, Bhutta, cultivates the field, sells the produce in the market, and earns money for the family. Sheila is not paid for the services delivered for upbringing of the family. Bhutta earns money which he spends on rearing his family. Women are not paid for their service delivered in the family. The household work done by women is not recognized in the national income. Gita, mother of Vilas, earned an income by selling fish. Thus, women are paid for their work when they enter the labor market. They are yearning like that of their male counterpart is determined on the basis of education and skill. Education helps individual to make better use of the economic opportunities available before him. Education and skill are the major determinants of the earning of any individual in the market. A majority of women have merged merger education and lower skill formation. Women are paid lower compared to men. Most women work where job security is not there. Various activities relating to legal protection is merged. MEAR MEAGRE merge. Employment in this sector is categorized by irregular and low income. In this sector, there is an absence of basic facilities like uh, maternity leaves, child care, and other social security systems. However, women with high education and skill formation are paid at par with the men. Among the organized sector, teaching and medicine teaching and medicine attached attract them the most. Some women have entered administrative and other service, including jobs that need higher level of scientific and technological competency. Ask your sister or your classmate what she would like to take up as a career. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ହେଡିଙ୍ଗ ଆସୁଛି ଯୋଉଟା ହଉଛି କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଅଫ୍ ପପୁଲେସନ୍। ଏଇଟା ଗୋଟେ ସବ୍ ହେଡିଙ୍ଗ କହିଲେ ଚଳେ। The quality of population depends upon the literacy rate, health of a person indicated by life expectancy and skill formation acquired by the people of the country. The quality of the population ultimately decides the growth rate of the country. Literacy and healthy population are an asset. ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ସବ୍ ହେଡିଙ୍ଗ ହେଉଛି କ୍ୱାଲିଟି ଅଫ୍ ପପୁଲେସନର ସବ୍ ହେଡିଙ୍ଗ ହେଉଛି ଏଜୁକେସନ୍ ହେଲା ନା। ତ ସବ୍ ହେଡିଙ୍ଗ ହେଉଛି ଏଜୁକେସନ୍। Sakal's education in the initial year of his life bore him the fruits in the later years in terms of a good job and a salary. We saw education was an important input for the growth of Sakal. It opened new horizon for him, provided new aspiration and developed values of life. Not only for Sakal, education contributes towards the growth of society also. It enhances the national income, cultural richness, and increase the efficiency of governance. There is a provision made uh, for providing universal access, retention, and quality in elementary education with a special emphasis on girls. There is also an establishment of pace setting of schools like Navodaya Vidyalaya in each district. Vocational streams have been developed to equip large number of high school students with occupation related to knowledge and skills. The plan outlay on education has increased from rupees 151 crore in the first plan to rupees 37 66 3766.90 crore in the uh, 11th plan. The expenditure on education as a percentage of GDP rose from 0.64% in 1951 52 to 3% in 2015 to 16. B. Important paragraph start. Human being is a positive asset and precious national resources which needs to be uh, cruised, cruised, nutrient and developed with tradeness and care, coupled with dynamism. Each individual's growth presents a different range of problems and requirements. The catalytic action of education in this complex and dynamic growth process needs to be planned meticulously and executed with great sensitivity. Important paragraph complete ಇಲ್ಲ. Source National Education Policy 1986. Let's discuss. Study the graph and answer the following question. First question: has the literacy rate of the population increased since 1951? Second question: in which year India has the highest literacy rate? Third question: why literacy rate is high among the malls of India? MALES, males of India. Why literacy rate is high among the males of India? Fourth question: why are women less educated than men? Fifth question: how would you calculate literacy rate in India? Sixth question: what is your projection about Indians literacy rate in 2020? Important paragraph start. Count the number of boys and girls studying in your school or in your neighboring code school. Ask the school administration to provide you with the data of boys and girls studying in the classroom. Study the difference, uh, if any, and explain the reasons in the classroom. Important paragraph complete ହେଲା. And has remained stagnant around 3% from past few years. The literacy rate have increased from 18% in 1951 to 74% in 2010-11. Literacy is not only a right, it is also needed in if the citizens are to perform their duties and enjoy their rights properly. However, a vast difference is noticed across different sections of the population. Literacy among males is nearly 16.6%, higher than female, and it is about 16.1% higher in urban areas as compared to rural area. In 2011, literacy rates varies from 94% in Kerala to 62% in Bihar. The primary school system has expanded to over 8.58 lakhs in 2013-14. Unfortunately, this huge expansion of schools has been diluted by the poor quality of schooling and high dropout rates. Sarva Shiksha Abhijan is a significant step towards providing elementary education to all children in the age group of 6 to 14 years by 2010. It is a time-bound, initiative, initiative of the central government in partnership with the states, the local government, and the community for achieving the goals of on universalization of elementary education. Along with it, bright courses and back to school campus have been initiated to increase the enrollment in elementary education. Elementary মানে 1 ରୁ 10 পর্যন্ত. Midday meal schemes has been implemented to encourage attendance and retention of child and improve their nutritional status. Nutritional nutritional status. These policies could add to the literate population of India. The 12th plan endeavors to raise the country's gross enrollment ratio in higher education in the age group of 18 to 23 years to 25.2% by 2017-18, and to reach the target of 30% by 2020-21, which would be broadly in line with world average. The strategy focus on increasing access, quality, adoption of state-specific curriculum, modification, vocationalization, and network on the use of information technology. The plan also focus on distance education, convergence of formal, non-formal, distance and IT education institutions. Over the past 50 years, there has been a significant growth in the number of university and institutions of higher learning in specialized areas. Let us read the tables to see the increase in the number of colleges, university, and enrollment of students and recruitment of teachers from 1951 to 2015-16. A table is number of institute of higher education, enrollment and facilities. 1950-51 रे नंबर ऑफ कॉलेज होची 750, नंबर ऑफ यूनिवर्सिटी 30, स्टूडेंट्स 2,63,000, teacher in universities and colleges 24,000. 1991 ରେ ହଉଛି 7,346, number of university 177, student 49 lakh 25,000, teacher in university and college 2,72,000. 1998-99 ରେ number of college ହଉଛି 11,089, number of university ହଉଛି 238, students ହଉଛି 74,17,000, teachers in university and colleges 3,42,000. 2010-11 ରେ ହଉଛି 33,023, number of university ହଉଛି 523, ଆଉ student ହଉଛି 1,86,70,050. Teachers in university and colleges 8,16,966. 2012-2013 number of colleges 37,204, number of university 628, students ହଉଛି 223 lakhs 2,000 ଶହ ହଜାର ଅୟୁତ ଲକ୍ଷ 223 lakhs 2,093 936. Teachers in university and colleges 9,25,396. In 2014-15 number of colleges होची 40,760, number of university होची 711, student होची 265 lakhs 85,437, teacher in university and colleges 12 lakhs 61,350. 2015-16 ରେ ହଉଛି 41,435, number of university ହଉଛି 753, ଆଉ student ହଉଛି 284 lakhs 84,741, teacher in university and colleges 40 lakhs 38,000. Sources: UGC Annual Report 2010-11, 2012-13, 13-14, and the Selection Educational Statistics, Ministry of HRD, www.ugc.ac.in underscore annual report dot 2015-16 PDF. Let's discuss this table in the classroom and answer the following question. First question: is the increase in the number of colleges adequate to admit the increased number of students? Second question: do you think we should have more number of university? Third question: what is the increase noticed among the teachers in the year 1998-99? Fourth hochi, what is your idea about future colleges and universities? ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ସବହେଡିଂ ହେଉଛି health. Farm, FIRM, farm maximize profit. Do you think any farm would be inducted to employ people who might not work efficiently as healthy workers because of ill health? The health of a person helps him to release his or her potential and the ability to fight illness. He/she will not be able to maximize his or her output to the overall growth of the organization. Indeed, health is an indispensable basis for realizing one's well-being. Henceforth, improvement in the health status of the population has been the priority of the country. One national policy too aims to improving the accessibility of healthcare, family welfare, and neutral services, nutrient services, with a special focus on the underprivileged segment of the population. Over the last 5 decades, India has built a vast health infrastructure and has also developed the manpower required at primary, secondary, and tertiary section of the government, as well as in the private sector. Important paragraph start. These measures which has been adopted has increased the life expectancy over 68.3 years in 2014. Infant mortality rate IMR has come down from 147 in 1951 to 37 in 1951 to 37 in 2015. Crude birth rate have dropped in 20.8 and death rate in 6.5 within the same duration of time. Increase in the life expectancy and improvement in child care and useful in assessing the future progress of the country. Increase in longevity of the life in an indicator of good quality of life, marked by self-confidence, a reduction in infant INFANT mortality involves the protection of a child from infection, ensuring the nutrition of both the mother and child care. Important paragraph complete here. Source: National Health Profit 2015, UNHRD HDR 2016, SRS Report 2015, Office of the Registry General and Census Commissioner, India. Let's discuss. Study the table 2.2. Is important paragraph 2.2, and answer the following question: what is the percentage increase in dispensary from 1951 to 2015? What is the percentage increase in doctors and nursing personnel from 1951 to 2015? এই 2.2টা পরে দিয়েছে ହେଲା। Health infrastructure over the year. SC, PHC, CHC 2013 ରେ ହେଉଛି 181139, 2014 ରେ ହେଇଗଲା 182709, 2015 ରେ ହେଇଗଲା 184359. Dispensary and hospitals 29,274. 2014 ରେ ହେଇଗଲା 29,715. 2015 ରେ ହେଇଗଲା 29,957. Beds government ର 628709 2013 ରେ, 2014 ରେ ହେଲା 675779, ଆଉ 2015 ରେ ହେଇଗଲା 754724. 2015 registered allopathy doctor per year এটা হচ্ছে 37,085 ହେଲା ନା। 2014 ରେ ହେଇଗଲା 22,411, ଆଉ 2015 ରେ ହେଇଗଲା 10,313. Nursing personnel ANM, RN, RM, LHB 2013 ହେଲା 2344241, 2014 ହେଇଗଲା 2621981, ଆଉ 2015 ହେଇଗଲା 2639229. ଏଟା ଟେବୁଲ 2.2 ହେଲା। SC सब सेंटर, PSC SC ମାନେ ହେଉଛି सब सेंटर, PHC ମାନେ ହେଉଛି ପ୍ରାଇମେରୀ ହେଲ୍ଥ କେୟାର ସେଣ୍ଟର, CHC କମ୍ୟୁନିଟି ହେଲ୍ଥ କେୟାର ସେଣ୍ଟର, ANM ହେଉଛି ଅକ୍ସିଲାରୀ ନର୍ସ ହାଇବ୍ରିଡ୍ସ, RN and RM ମାନେ ହେଉଛି registered nurse and registered midwives, LHV ମାନେ ହେଉଛି lady health visitors. Sources ହେଉଛି National Health Policy 2013, 14, 15, National Health Profiles 2016, Central Bureau of Health Intelligence, Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. Point number 3. Do you think the increase in the number of doctors and nurses inadequate for India? If not, why? Point number 4. What other facilities would be like to provide in a hospital? Point number 5. Discuss about the hospital you have visited. 6 number. Can you draw a graph using this table? Activities. এটা ইম্পর্টেন্ট প্যারাগ্রাফ স্টার্ট হয়েছে না। Visit a nearby hospital, either government or private, and note down the following details. How many beds are there in the hospital you have visited? How many doctors are there in the hospital? How many nurses working in the hospital? Besides, try to gather the following additional information. How many hospitals are there in your locality? Next point is how many dispensary are there in your locality? Important paragraph complete ହେଇଗଲା। ଏଇଠି ଆଉ ଗୋଟେ ଇମ୍ପୋର୍ଟାଣ୍ଟ ହେଡିଙ୍ଗ ଆସୁଛି unemployment. Sakal's mother Sheila looked after the domestic chores. CHORES. Children and children and helped her husband Bhutta in the field. Sakala's brothers Jitu and sister Situ spent their time playing and roaming. Can you call Sila or Jitu or Situ unemployment? If not, why? Unemployment is said to exist when people who are willing to work at the going wage cannot find jobs. Sila is not interested in working outside her domestic domain. Jitu and Situ are too small to be counted in the workforce population. Neither Jitu, Situ or Sila can be counted as unemployed. The workforce populations include people from 15 years to 59 years. Sakal's brother and sister do not fall within this age group, so they cannot be called unemployed. Sakal's mother Sila uh, work for the family. She is not willing to work outside her domestic domain for payment. She too cannot be called unemployed. Sakal's grandparents, although not mentioned in the story, can be called unemployed. In case of India, we have unemployment in rural and urban areas. However, the nature of unemployment different in rural and urban areas. In case of rural areas, there is seasonal distinguished unemployment. Urban areas have mostly educated unemployment. Seasonal unemployment happens when people are not able to find jobs during some month of years. People dependent upon agriculture usually face agriculture unusual face such kind of problems. There are certain busy sessions when sowing, 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 harvesting, weeding, WEEDING, threshing, THRESHING, threshing is done. Certain months do not provide much work to the people dependent on agriculture. In case of distinguished unemployment, people appear to be employed. They have agriculture plot where they find work. This usually happens among family members engaged in agriculture activities. The work requires the service of 5 people but engage 8 people. 3 people are extra. These three peoples these three peoples also work in the same plot as the others. The contribution made by the three extra people does not add to the contribution made by the five people. If three people are removed, the productivity of the field will not decline. The field requires the services of five people and the three extra people are discussed unemployed. In case of urban areas, educated unemployment has become a common phenomenon. Many youth with matriculation, graduate and postgraduate degree are not able to find job. A study shows that unemployment of graduate and postgraduate have increased faster than among matriculates. A paradoxical manpower situation is witnessed as surplus of manpower in certain categories coexist with shortage of manpower in others. There is unemployment among technical qualified person on one hand, while there is a dearth dearth of technical skills required for economic growth. Unemployment leads to wastage of manpower resources. People who are an asset for the economy turns into the liability. There is a feeling of hopelessness and despair among the youth. People do not have enough money to support their family. Inability of educated people who are willing to work to find gainful employment implies IMPLIS a greater social waste. Employment tends to increase economic overload. The dependence of the unemployed on the working population increases. The quality of an individual as well as of society is diversely affected. When a family has to live on a bare bare substances level, there is a general decline in its health status and raising withdrawal from the school system. Hence, unemployment has detrimental impact. Hence, unemployment has a detrimental impact on the overall growth of an economy. Increase in unemployment is an indicator of a depressed economy. It also wastes the resources which could have been gainfully employed. If people cannot be used as a resources, they naturally appear as a liability to the economy. In case of India, statistically the unemployment rate is low. A larger number of people represented with low income and productively are counted as employed. They appear to work throughout the year, but in terms of their potential and income. It is not adequate for them. The work that they are pursuing seems force upon them. They may therefore want other work of their choice. Poor people cannot afford to sit idle. They tend to engage in any activity, irrespective They tends to engage in any activity irrespective of its earning potential. Their earning keeps them on a bare substances level. Picture 2.6. Can you remember how much did you pay when you asked him to mend your shoes or slippers? ଜୋତା ମୋର ଅଧିକ କଥା କହୁଛି। Moreover, the employment structure is characterized by self-employment in the primary sector. The whole family contributes in the field, even though not everybody is really needed. So there is distinguished unemployment in the agriculture sector, but the entire family shares what has been produced. This concept of sharing of work in the field and the uh, product produce reduce the hardship of unemployment in the rural sector, but this is not reduce the poverty of the family. Gradually surplus labor from every household tends to migrate from the village in search of job. Let us discuss about the employment scenario in the three sectors mentioned earlier. Agriculture is the most lab- labor uh, absorbing sector. Agriculture is the most labor absorbing sector of the economy. In recent years, there has been a decline in the dependence of population of agriculture, partly because of distinguished unemployment discussed earlier. Some of the surplus labor in agriculture has moved to either the secondary or the tertiary section. In the secondary section, uh, small scale manufacture is the most labor absorbing. Primary, secondary, tertiary. In case of tertiary section, various new services are now appearing like biotechnology, information technology, and so on. Let us read a story to know how people could become an asset for the economy of village. Important paragraph start ହେଲା. Story of village. There was a village inhabited by several families. Each family produced enough to feed its members. Each family meet its needs by the uh, members making their own clothes and teaching their own children. One of the families decided to send one of its son to an agricultural college. The boy got his admission in the nearby College of Agriculture. After some time, he became qualified in agro engineering and came back to the village. He proved to be so creative that he could design an improved type of plug, which increased the yield of wheat. Thus, a new job of agroengineering was created and filled in the village. The family in the village sold the surplus in the nearby neighboring village. They earned good profit, which they shared among themselves. Inspired by his success, all the families after some time held a meeting in the village. They are they all wanted to have a better future for their children too. They requested the uh, panchayat to open a school in the village. They assumed the panchayat that they would all send their children to school. The panchayat will the help of government open a school. A teacher was recruited from a nearby town. All the children of this village started going to school after some time. One of the families gave training to his daughter in uh, tailoring. She started stitching clothes from all the families of the villages. For everyone now wanted to buy and wear well tailored cloth. Thus, another new job that of a tailor was created. This had another positive effect. The time of the farmers is going far for buying clothes was saved. As the farmers spent more time in the field, the yield of the farms went up. This was the beginning of prosperity. The farmers had more than what they could consume. Now they could sell what they produce to other others who came to their village markets. Over time, this village, which formerly had no job opportunity in the beginning, had many like teacher, tailor, agroengineering, and many more. This was the story of a simple village where the raising level of human capital enabled it to evolve into a place rich with complex and modern economic activities. Summary: you have seen how inputs like education and health helped in making people an asset for the economy. The chapter also discusses about the economic activities undertaken in the three sectors of the economy. We also study about the problem associated with unemployment. Finally, the chapter ends with the story of the village which formerly had no job but later had plenty.